right, guys, welcome to episode 71 of the Neverland podcast. Today, we got a dope ass guest on. I mean, you guys have technically heard him on like every episode in a way, I guess. This is Malik on the net, man. He's worked with Earth Gang, he's worked with Ariana Grande, but I think most importantly, he makes the beat for the intro of the Neverland podcast. So
Hey, yo, that's the most important thing right there. That's
yeah,
at the top
bro.
of the list.
100%, 100%. Forget the Grammy, forget all of that.
Yeah,
man.
forget all that. Grammys. But no, man. Malik's on here. We're gonna be talking some music. Maybe we might touch on some basketball playoffs. We're just talking that shit, but
Absolutely.
But yeah, Malik, the first question I like to ask all my guests who come on is your personal top five artists of all time.
Ooh, top five. All right, I'm gonna just go off the cuff right now because it rotates. I'm gonna say Kanye.
True.
I'm gonna say Childish Gambino. I'm gonna say Frank Ocean. Oh man, give me. Oh, Tyler the Creator. Wow, I'm tripping.
Hey.
And Toro y Moi. Yeah.
Sorry, who?
Toro y Moi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with them that much.
Yo, you gotta listen to. He has this project, the Samantha mixtape, that's not up on streaming anywhere. He like dropped it on Dropbox like a couple of years ago. So it's the only place you can find it. And he has like pic photos with it.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest experimental ambient hip hop projects.
That's crazy. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, definitely gotta check that out. But even is it a Kanye kind of just jumped out to me because I mean, for one, he's my second. I'll put Wayne first, and then he's.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's just me. Paris, that's his favorite. But the only reason I bring Kanye up is because just listening to your music, I could hear elements of Kanye.
Yeah, especially in your new project. I was hearing Kanye all over the place, dude. That I don't know if it was like that metallic auto tune on it. It was like brought like some what is that called? Yeah, back some like 2008 Kanye vibes. It was nice, dude.
Like vintage Kanye. Heck yeah. On which song in particular are you talking about? Probably,
it might
Yellow. I would imagine.
Yeah, Yellow, or I think you do a little bit on Red too.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
dude. Yeah, that just jumped out. Also, like I was like, you have that like kind of Travis Scott vibe to it. I was like, maybe that's some like Texas, Houston connection going on there.
Yeah, man. Ever since he dropped Days Before, I think Days Before Rodeo is what made me a fan. Like, Owl Pharaoh was dope, and then that just solidified me as a Travis fan because he makes the coolest trap music to me. Like he's taken something that's been done so many times over and over and over again and makes it fresh, which is a big deal for me,
Right. I think he just has a vibe. Like whatever, even if he's a feature on that song, like you give him that classic kind of dark kind of, I guess you could say like kind of a tone to it. And then he just goes over with that auto-tune. It's just like he's created that lane for himself.
Absolutely. Such a signature sound.
Right.
He's like nailed down for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I think we might as well just jump into your stuff. I think even before we talk about music, which is obviously fire, I just kind of want to even talk about like the way you were able to roll it out, which I thought was super dope. Like,
thanks, man.
The website is up recently. I saw it on IG. I was just looking at it. I was like, yo, this is a dope ass website.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, but like, I mean, even like the cover art for each individual color song put out. Like, I know Red dropped when I think George Floyd was happening. Like, it was around that time. And you were basically like, this is like kind of how I feel and shit. I was like, yo, this is like the way you rolled everything out was super cool to me.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's kind of crazy how all that came together. I started this project maybe 2 or 3 years ago. All the songs were different then, but I was like, I wanted a way for me to like create and put out music as it was finished. and have some sort of loose concept to group it together, but not really trying to make like an album, you know. Just through delays and stuff, it kind of happened where I had all the music done before the release. But yeah, we had I finished the project, and we had set the dates to release, and then everything with George Floyd had happened, and I was like, oh man, like, should I be releasing music right now? I don't know. I was like really, really nervous just about, you know, putting out music, because I'm like, I don't want to take away from what's going on right now. I don't want to feel like I'm using it for like attention or something.
Right.
So I just asked a ton of people, like within the community out here in Austin. It's like, yo, this is how I'm feeling. This is kind of what I had in the works. Do you feel like this helps, or do you feel like it's a distraction? And everyone was like, yo, if there's any time to use your voice, it's now. And it was like 100% all support, which really gave me the confidence to put it out and not be nervous about it, because they understood where my heart was at, and I knew where my heart was at. And yeah, and then from there, they kind of got things started. And I always knew I wanted to release the project over time, just because as a new artist, I feel like it's hard to get someone to like listen to a whole project. Like someone gives me an album right now of someone I don't know, I'm not listening to the whole thing. I might listen to one song, but it's like, all right, if I can get you to listen to one,
you're like,
you like it,
Yeah.
I can get you to listen to the next one, and kind of let things snowball from there.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, man, that's super dope. That's yeah. Because like I think it's just the way I think any artist, like I think you can even take Drake as a prime example. It's like even right now he's putting out, like, you see the random images of his merch even before you listen to any music. So it's like, I think it's just the way you put something out. It's like it's like an experience behind it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, all my favorite artists, they create universes with their art. And you look at like Childish Gambino is like the perfect example. Where like his show has like Easter eggs for the album, you know?
Yeah.
And then the clothing, it's just like, man, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want people to be able to live completely in my art.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because honestly, like how you separate yourself nowadays, everyone's doing like, everyone's putting out tons of music, everyone's doing this, everyone's doing that, right? But honestly, the difference like in what makes like great artists versus like everyone else is creating that experience with a project, you know? And it's like, if you're just putting out singles here and there, it's not really getting anyone engaged. They'll listen to it, right? But they're not going to be engaged and like kind of following what's going on. But if you can create that engagement, that's like the key. So
yeah, no, 100%, 100%, man. Yeah, having that consistency. It felt good for me to like at the start. No, I have basically 3 months of just things to put out consistently. Because I think that's something I had like, and maybe in previous releases, it's like, all right, cool. I have the album art, I've got the music, maybe a couple videos, and you know, that's it. And it can like come and go really quickly. You know, like if I put out the whole project, even with all the artwork, that would have lived for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and on to the next thing. But no, this rollout was dope for me because it allowed me to like live the project in real time as well, and hear people's response like, oh man, I can't wait till the next color comes out. I wonder what it is and what it's going to sound like, and or what the cover is going to look like. It was really dope, like, you know, being within the people as I'm putting it out.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. Did you produce any of those songs, or?
Yeah, I produced the whole thing.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah, so you produced rap. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And are you signed to a label currently, or are you just independent?
So I'm signed to Artium, which is No ID's like record label.
Oh shit. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I saw that at the bottom of Spotify. I was like, I gotta look this up. I saw that you're a part of that. I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, super recent. But that was like, man, dream come true. Because of course, coming from being a crazy Kanye fan, it's like, yo, his freaking mentor, like wants to work with me and, you know, have me release my music is wild, you know.
Oh yeah. How was it like even considering signing to him? Like, were you ever like, okay, let me just be independent for the long run, or?
So I was signed to this other production company called Since the '80s. So they managed
Oh,
Jid and Earth Gang.
yeah, right.
So I signed with them first a few years ago, and that was like my first. That got my foot in the door within the industry. So I was like, yo, man, I want to go. Like
Yeah.
they're already working with artists that I'm a fan of, and this is what I've like dreamt about for so long.
Right.
So getting in there, and that led to me meeting Tommy Brown and then producing for Ariana. So that really put me in the position to really start taking off and doing the things that I want to do. And then within that process, I had met No ID, and me and him had built a relationship. And while things with Since the '80s were really dope, there was something that was telling me this is not like home for me. It was like, imagine you like, okay, let's say you're in a relationship, right? And things are like 75% cool. And there's a part of you that's like, like, I know there's 100% out there, but man, I got 75%. I don't want to lose 75%.
Yeah, it's like you like the almost the safety of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it became this thing where I knew like it was going to be the best for both of us to part ways, because we were just going in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been me going back to square one. I'm like, all right, like I'm back at home, independent, no money, like, and it just so happened that No ID like still believed in my music and wanted to like help out. And he was like, yeah, man, of course, let's go. We actually have a personal relationship. It's not just business, which is like everything that I have wanted within stepping into the music industry, because it's such a like, you don't know who's got your back, you don't know who's really looking into your best interests. And he's one of those people who just like gives and gives and gives and gives, as long as you're like, keeping it real with him as well. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's kind of how that came together.
That's
I feel like just being with No ID is probably so sick though.
Bro,
Like,
it's like,
it's like, oh fuck.
He's Rap Yoda, man. He's Rap Yoda. 100%. Like Zen, all the wisdom is wild.
Yeah. Like you literally just sit there and just hear him speak. You're like, just soak this all in right now.
Yeah.
Yo, no lie, the first like month, I had bought a notebook, and whenever we would like be in the studio, I'm just taking notes, like pages and pages and pages of stuff, bro. Just like, oh man, I had no idea. Like, yeah, it opened the doors to everything, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of even like take it all the way back now. Like, when was the first time you were like, okay, let me try this rap thing out? Or was it like, let me try producing out? Let me just play around with this.
So my first introduction to music was I was walking around Walmart with my mom. It was like around Christmas. And so, we're kind of pre-shopping for toys for Christmas, right? Then I see a guitar. And like, yo, that looks so cool. Mama want a guitar for Christmas. So she, I'm just, whatever. She gets it for me, gets me lessons. And like, I instantly knew, yo, this is what I want to do. So I had started writing songs on guitar. And then one day my dad brought home this video game called Funkmaster Flex Digital Hits Factory.
Yeah.
And it was this game for PlayStation 2 that you could make beats on. And once I got my hands on that, it was over. I would like hook up our like stereo to it, and I would record all my beats to tape. And there was even like a little adapter that you could plug into, I think like the memory card slot of like a microphone. So you're like, your PlayStation 2 is like a whole little studio. And then from there, just like, doing more research, learning about more software equipment, and building up my little home studio.
Dang, that's dope.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Dang. So like from there, like, when was it when you were like, okay, or I guess even before Grammys and all that, when do you even start, like, when are you like, okay, let me take this project up, or let me work with this artist, or produce?
I'm trying to think. Well, it had been me basically putting out my own little mixtapes and stuff for so long. And then, crazy enough, I was putting out an early version of Spectrum since the 80s had found me. Up until that point, I hadn't really worked with a ton of people on other people's projects. It was more, yo, I wanted to do my stuff. I'll do, things here and there. About this little label I'm putting together. So there's a few artists I was like producing for. But as far as like anything like outside of my friend group, it wasn't really much. I didn't have any connections. But yeah, it was when I met since the 80s. They were just like, yo, like, what do you want to do? And at that point, I'm doing mostly like super rap, hip hop, more like underground, eclectic stuff. And I'm like, let me try pop because I have no idea. Like, I don't know anything about that world, and I want to stretch myself as far as possible.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, shoot, Tommy Brown. So I ended up with him for a little while Ariana was working on Sweetener. So she would come through every so often and record, and that's how I kind of got put in the position to produce for her. But yeah.
Damn.
That's sick.
That's crazy. So was there any point like you going through all this stuff where you're like, yo, is music really the thing? Like what made you stay like persistent even if like nothing was coming your way?
Man, I literally it was the only option for me, honestly. It was either music or basketball, and I knew I could be happy without playing basketball in college because, I can go to the rec and play. I can, whatever. It wasn't so much about I need to be at a school playing, but music has been like my outlet as far as I'm going through something. The first thing I'm going to do is write about it or make a beat or something artistic,
Right.
And that was so tied to just my like happiness and peace of mind and like helping my mental health, all those things. So like, yo, I have to do this. And of course there are like times where I'm like, man, like I think this is gonna take off, but literally nothing is happening right now. Like I am at home.
Nice.
I'm in like community college studying music, and yo, I just don't see anything going on. Every time I put out a project, I'm like, yo, this is the one that's gonna go. And I put it out and it was not the one that went.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, it was in my mind. It was like, yo, I mean, if this doesn't work out,
right, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work out. I'm gonna be 40 making music, working at I don't know a coffee shop. Like, yo, this is the next one. It's gonna go. Like,
yeah. True. Do you think going to school helped you at all though, or was it just like you were just doing it to do it?
If you go in with the purpose and direction. So like for me, I went to ACC to study audio engineering. So that just helped me hone in on my recording and technical skills.
Right.
And then if anything, like if like my music didn't take off right away, I'm like, yo, I can get a job as an audio engineer, which will help me like just more people, produce more people, and kind of take that route to I'm at least I'm at least in music and doing I'm like, it's closer than, coffee shop or something.
Yeah.
But I think, going with the purpose, because I just see a lot of people like, yo, I'm at such and such big name school, spending way too much money. I don't know what I want to study.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, like, take a year off, take 2 years off, figure out what you want to do. Because if you're going to spend that much money on something, at least be in something that you can believe in. Because I'm like, in my mind, yo, if I have that money to like go to a big damn college, I would rather take all of that and put it into like my studio or like something directly that that I'm passionate about.
Yeah,
that's also because like you kind of knew your direction, right? It's like a lot of the time a lot of people don't know what they want to do, but they just kind of even lackadaisically they just kind of choose and then they kind of wasting their time.
No, 100%. And that's one thing I realized in like recent years that most people don't know like where like what they want to do or where they want to go. And I've never been like that. Like I was literally 12 like, yep, this is what I'm doing, and I'm listening to Lil Bow Wow. Like, that's gonna be me. Like, like I should be the kid rapper. But yeah, so I definitely have learned to take that, like not take that for granted, because I mean, sometimes people find their passions later in life, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just making sure you're making the right decisions along the way, so you're not like, man, I'm 50K in debt and I have nothing to really. I'm not even in the like my field, or I'm not passionate about the field that I'm in, because it was just this is just what you do, right? You graduate high school, go to college, you get a job, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, facts. True. But now going into actually winning Grammys, I mean, first of all, like when you're making something, you're like, are you ever like, okay, this is gonna win me some shit, or are you just sitting there like, oh no, this is lit?
Like, I wasn't even thinking about, like, working with Ariana. I wasn't even thinking about Grammys. I was literally, I got the opportunity, and I'm like, I better not mess this up. Like, like there are so many people who would like want to be able to produce for Ariana, like one of the biggest pop stars on earth.
Facts.
So let me make sure this beat is fire. So they want me for the next project, you know.
Nice.
And then I mean, everything after that was just like icing on the cake. Like, oh shoot, it's nominated. What? Oh, what, it won? Like, where is going? And this is my first production placement ever. It's like, this is doesn't even make sense, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro. Dang.
So how'd you like, were you watching and everything while it was going on, and you're like, holy shit, like I actually just won, like right now? What was going through your mind?
So, man, where freaking was I? I think I came back home. Yeah, I was home during the Grammys, I believe. And first I saw just online that it got nominated, and that was crazy. Did they freaking, was it I don't think there was I don't think they aired her I guess that award. So I just found out just like
later
from through the social media. It was like, oh man, like this is wild. I don't even know what to do with myself right now. Yeah. Honestly, I think the bigger moment that hit me though was when the album first came out, and I got the physical CD, and I saw my name in the credits. It was just like, oh shoot, I'm really here. It was part of me is like, oh man, maybe they like left my name out, or I don't know. This is too good to be true. And I'm sitting there like, dang, it's really sitting right here. Like,
did you go on Spotify and like artist credits, and you were like, oh shit, let's go.
Screenshot.
You're like, hey, I'm there.
Absolutely. The price just went up, man. Nah, I don't want your little, I can't work on your mixtape anymore.
Right. Yeah, bro. Dang, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How about actually being on Earth Gang shit at Maryland?
Man, that was huge for me as well, because I mean, as an artist, and it kind of goes back to why Kanye is such a big inspiration. Like, you can get pigeonholed really quickly and really easily. Like, I produce for this huge artist, but who cares about my solo work really? You know what I mean? It could be like, oh no, like you're so successful as a producer, why would you even try to put out solo music? You know, like, keep doing this and you're gonna make money and whatever. So like what that feature was for me, it was like, okay, cool. Things are like moving on multiple lanes.
Directions.
My production stuff is doing well, and my artistry is now like gets this great cosign. Like off of Earth Gang, a great, you know, freaking incredibly talented artist on their debut album, and it didn't have a ton of features on it, which was like, man, I'm like, I mean, that meant a lot that they opened up, you know, their world to me to allow me to you know, be a part of that.
Yeah.
Also, that song, that's one of my favorite songs on there too. That beat on there is crazy.
Yeah, no, they killed that beat. They killed that one.
So, for you with that, is that were you in the studio with them, like working together, or was it like?
Oh, I'm trying to think. they had rented out a house in the hills, and everyone was kind of working in different rooms. So they just sent that to me, and I just went in one of the rooms and recorded the hook. Yeah.
Nice.
Were you at the Dreamville shit? The Dreamville?
Yeah. So that's actually where I reconnected with No ID at the Dreamville sessions, which was crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah.
How was that?
Man, it was the most hectic, incredible thing ever, bro. Like, the people who were there, it was like every producer, every artist that I've been a fan of in some form or fashion. Freaking Giannis in the Bucks pulled up, and I'm like, I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'5", so
yeah.
We're just, I'm chilling in the studio, and then these giants just walk in. I'm like, freaking, like, what's up, Giannis? Like, I'm a fan. Like, no one should be this tall.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. But nah, it was so fun, and like, my favorite personal moment was, like, I'm working on beats with No ID. He's like throwing me ideas. I'm putting drums on them, whatever. We're just kind of going back and forth. And then Swiss Beats comes in, and he's like, yo, wow, this is dope. And then he gets in the studio and puts down vocals on it. And I'm like, yo.
That's insane.
What is happening right now?
Dude.
Yeah. No,
that's
man,
crazy.
I was like, and then he like,
out, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Man, he freaking he followed me on Instagram after that, and I was like, yo, freaking supposed to be following me, and then I had said something and just commented zone. I'm like, yo, this is iconic right now.
That's crazy, dude. How do you avoid like fanboying over all these artists whenever you meet them?
Yo. Let me tell you, I had to get adjusted really, really quick, because it was like since the 80s first flew me out to work, Earth Gang and Jid were like deep into working on their projects. So everyone was coming through the house like crazy. Like, I met Mac Miller, I met Nyomza, I met like J. Cole, I met Smino, it was like so many people coming through. Yeah. I literally had to be like, okay, yo, I can't like be freaking out.
Yeah,
like,
I just have to turn it off.
Like, every new person, you're like, oh my God.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. I would just be the guy in the corner, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And I gotta, I'm trying to work with these people. I can't be like, But it definitely, it built up like my tolerance really quickly. It was just like, all right, cool, we're getting this out of the way, so I can, actually live and be in the room with these people.
It's like, dude, was Jid working on the most recent one, like the 151 Rum? I forget what the name of the album is called.
He was working on DiCaprio
2.
Yeah.
Dang, dude,
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Black too, that was crazy. Yeah.
I'm sure all of Atlanta was there.
Oh
like,
yeah, man.
Everyone.
Freaking Akon and Ludacris pulled through.
Bro, dude, there's no way I'm working, bro.
The OG's pulling through.
Bro, if I see Cole, Smino, fucking Ludo pull up, there's no way.
I'd die. I would die.
It was ridiculous. So like we're like in the studio, and then like the control room, or not the control room, the live room, we can see, and I just see freaking Ludacris and Akon just like posted up, just talking, and I'm like, what? Like, these are some of the first rap artists I've ever listened to. Like, and they're just in the other room. Yeah, it was nuts.
Oh my God.
How do you work in those type of conditions? I'm asking as if it's like a
as if you're working on the side of a cliff or something.
Yeah.
Man, you just gotta buckle down and do it. Like, I don't know.
Is there a part of you that's like, all right, I have to impress now? Like, everything has to be crazy right now? Or are you like, let me just kind of zone out for a bit?
It depends. It depends on like the room, why I'm there, because a lot of times I might be like, yo, I just want to be in the room to just pick up stuff and to learn, because it may not be my time to like, let me jump in the front. Because I get, my thought is like, if I'm talking, I'm not listening. So I'm giving out information. I'm not taking in information. Right. So it's my first time being around artists and producers who are all way more successful than me. So like, let me learn from that. Let me sit back and if I do have, you know, a time where I can step out and be like, yo, listen to this, check this out. Like, I'm the one, I'll do that, but don't rush it. You can't rush it, because if you step out, you do that, and you look crazy. You ruin that first impression, as opposed to like being the dude in the room. Like, yo, watch out for him. He's coming. Like, you'll see.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
That's very true.
Dang, that's crazy.
So when you try to like get inspiration for like your music and stuff, like where do you look to, or does it like just come to you day to day?
Oh man, it's all over the place. Like, especially nowadays, I feel like I've like learned how different mediums translate. So I'll be like looking at architecture and I'm like, yo, I should make a song based on how these wood floors look. And then I'll start developing sounds like that would, you know, I would imagine that would sound like. But a lot of it is just, I just lean really heavily on using references very, very intentionally. So like, if I'm working on something, like for example, let's say I'm working on something that's inspired by 2000s snap music, right? I'm just gonna put together a playlist and listen to all my favorite snap music from that time. And like, you know, which one had the best 808, which one had the best hats, which one had the best claps, which had the best flow cadence. And then I'm taking all these different references. And by the time they come together, it's already this new thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think everything is reference based no matter what, whether you're aware of it or not. So once you learn and you're aware of that and comfortable with that, you learn how to use references way more effectively, because you're not like, oh man, I can't listen to this because it's going to influence me too much. It's like, you know, it's going to influence you. Just make sure you're listening to the right things that are influencing you the way that you want to be influenced.
Yeah.
And then just being self-aware that you're not pulling too much from one source. Because then you get like those carbon copy artists, you know? But yeah, just diversifying your input and seeing what sticks.
Yeah. How much do you like look at other artists and like kind of get the space and like what like the direction music is going today, or do you kind of just go on your own path and just find out like what you want to create as your music, you know?
So actually, this is something I learned from No ID. So basically, for most of my artistic career, it had been me doing only what I want to do without like blinders up, essentially. Like, I'm not worried about anything else. I don't care if you 808s. I don't want to use any 808s because everybody's using it, right? But then, as much as I want to be super artistic, super avant-garde or whatever, I also want to be the biggest artist on the planet. So how do you do that? You have to appeal to people. And it's like, it's not like I don't like that music too, but there was this disconnect as far as the music I like to listen to isn't necessarily the music that I'm making. Like, I'm only making a small percentage of the music that I listen to, because I think that's like the highbrow art or whatever in my mind. But I'm like, no, I like to listen to really dumb, simple music as well. So once I had to open up that spectrum of music, no pun intended, to like accomplish all my goals. Cause like, I think of it this way: you're super artistic, eclectic, you never heard this before. It's gonna sound that much more that when it's next to something really simple and straightforward. You know what I mean? Give like people something to latch on without having to think too much, and then take them where you want to take. Like, you think, like, think about, I mean, Kanye is the perfect example. He gave people things that people could like consume and understand really quickly, and then sprinkled his moments. And then it wasn't until 808s and Heartbreak that he was like, all right, cool. Now I'm going to take this hard left and you're only going to listen to exactly what I want to make. right now, and I don't care what anyone else is doing. So, and like that was all no ID as far as like I'm telling him like these are my goals, and he's like, well, do you have anything that can compete with this #1 record right now on Rap Caviar or whatever? I'm like, dang, I don't have anything like that. Like, I'm kind of fighting a losing battle essentially.
Yeah,
right.
Like this is not like what you're doing right here is really dope, but this is not going to go #1. This is not gonna. All people are not gonna understand this. So if you want to be a niche artist, by all means, do this. But if you want to do everything, you got to open the floodgates and do everything.
Yes, it's like you have to be unique, but at the same time be similar to whatever's trendy.
Absolutely. And I mean, Kanye, I forgot what interview it was, but he was saying he's postmodern for his job, but he's really a futurist. So it's really him talking about like, all right, I have to rein it in a little bit so people can understand.
Right.
But really, I'm like, I'm way ahead.
He's looking way ahead. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. So like, swing back and forth.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And
it's kind of the goal.
I feel like also what Kanye did is that he changed it in a way that people almost followed, or like everyone did follow, right? He basically created emo rap, right? He basically invented that area of rap right now, where like so many people were in like Juice WRLD, rest in peace, and then like Uzi's in there, like so many artists are in that space now. But he like changed it just enough where it's like, oh, I like that, and then a lot of people just went that direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like a sharp left. It's like a gradual, it's like a crescendo almost to like, this is where we're going with it.
It's very, absolutely.
100%. It's, I mean, we don't have to really talk about it, but this gospel, that was a sharp ass right, but
before. No, absolutely. I mean, I would say it was a sharp left as far as lyrical content, but when I listen to the music, like, it's different, but like he's used gospel before.
You hear the Kanye in there.
Absolutely.
But I still kind of liked it. I was telling Ananya that I was like, I still kind of liked it, but
man, okay, you know what's funny? It first came out, and I was like, okay, it's some cool stuff on here, I guess. I don't like the mixes, but I don't know. Worst Kanye project. Time goes by, I just find myself listening to it. I'm still like, I don't know if I'm sold on this though. I don't think it's that great. And then one day, I just was not happy. I was just in a mood or whatever. I put it on, intro comes on, I'm like just crying. I'm just like, yo, this project makes so much sense now. Like, yeah, and then of course I'm a Christian as well, so like, there's that aspect as well. Man, my favorite artist is making Christian music. That's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think technically it's not great. Like if I look at the mixing and just the more technical aspect of the project, but to say that there's not depth and there's not thought put into it would be selling it short. But
exactly.
People are always gonna have things to say.
I mean, I think for me it was like one, Kanye was just going crazy as is. And then my first listen, I was like, all right, this isn't, I don't really mess with it. Second listen, I don't really mess with it. And I was like, all right, I'm done with this. Paris was texting me though. I feel like Paris listened to it so much that he was like, hey, I fuck with this now. Like, I think he forced himself to like it.
I listened to that ish on repeat for like a day, and then I love that shit, dude.
I was like,
it went from like, wait, this project is too short, and I'm like way not sure about it, to like, yo, I actually love it. Like, it was crazy.
I was like, dude, force yourself to like that shit. But
oh man,
I mean, I think I might have to go back, check it out.
Just listen to it one time, just one time.
Facts. I might have to give it a listen.
I mean, you love it or hate it, honestly. Like that's the vibe I got from a lot of people. So
I mean, I think even like my second time through though, I was like, all right, it's still Kanye at the end of the day. So you're still gonna have the the levels, like different depths to it. Like it's solid music still.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just obviously
and like
everything else.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like the space that he occupies, as far as, man, if you just want something like different, like
that's
especially like in any type of mainstream rap, that's kind of the person you go to, you know. And of course, there's other people, indie, alternative, you know, rap artists and stuff, but it's at least dope to know that he's completely sold into, man, I just want to create, and who cares what you think about it. You know?
No, I saw a tweet. It was like, if this guy creates Jesus TikTok, he's actually a fucking genius. I was like, he could literally do anything he wants at that point.
Yo, real talk. I mean, I'm like, yo, I'd be surprised if he does it.
Like if he pulls that shit.
Oh man,
crazy. But what are some other artists that, or like newer artists, I guess, that you've been listening to?
Newer. Let me look at my library real quick. What new have I been listening to? Oh, there's this dude. Have you heard of Tizo Touchdown?
I don't know why that name sounds familiar.
He's like kind of been like popping up a lot on like Twitter and Instagram lately with like a lot of his video shorts and stuff. He has like the braids and the nails in his head and stuff.
Oh yeah. I think I saw him probably on Twitter or something.
Yeah. He's got like 3 or 4 songs out that are super, super dope. I've been listening to him. I'm listening to a little bit of Amine.
Ooh, how's that new album?
It's good.
I still have to check that out. I enjoyed his last project.
Yeah.
The album was really good.
1.5.
Yeah, I actually went back recently and I liked it a lot. The first time I listened to it, I don't know, I didn't like it that much, but went back like maybe a month ago and I was like, damn, this is actually good.
Yeah.
You're talking about 1.5 or Good For You?
1.5. Yeah.
This next project is this latest one is his best, I think, for sure.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, listen.
Yeah. Absolutely. What about y'all? What have y'all been listening to?
Yesterday randomly, I don't know if it's because of location or what, but King Von came up on my YouTube recommended. Like obviously I've heard took her to the O and like his like male ones, but like randomly like I've heard a song with like him and Herb on it, which is fire, but like it randomly came on. I went through like a YouTube just rabbit hole listening to a bunch of King Von. But at the end of it, I wanted to fight someone, but like I was like, yo, this dude's kind of fire. Like, I mean, obviously, it's like it's a lot like Speaker Knockers. When I was listening to Speaker Knockers, but like as I was listening to it, I was like, yo, this storytelling and like the way he delivers, I feel like a lot of Chicago rappers have it, but like Speaker Knockers is like that. That was like I was like, okay, this is very Speaker Knockers like, but
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, but other than that, Gunna, Lil Baby, the usual.
Dude, I feel it.
Dude, I've been legit so basic with my music recently. Like I've just been listening to like Lil Baby, like the new stuff. Like not much. Like usually I'd like go in and like dive deep and try to find some new artists and things, but it's like I'm just like hitting Rap Caviar and press and play, dude. Like
Old Faithful.
Yeah, facts.
Y'all didn't say Malik, so man, y'all felt the test. Though.
I mean Malik. That's the top of the playlist,
dude.
Dang, I got
number one, dude.
That's the top of the playlist.
Oh man.
Oh, that's another question I wanted to ask you. For the colors, how were you like? Okay, this color goes with this song, or like?
I was curious while I was listening. I was like, what did he do inside of here that made it this color? I was literally trying to listen to it.
So I mean, some of them are straightforward, like red, of course, is anger, pretty easy. For orange, to me, orange feels like sunrise or sunset. Both are like very peaceful, uplifting, and that's kind of what the story of Orange is. It's just Like me just believing in myself, like, yo, and like I might be like in the dark right now, but you know, the sun is coming in the morning, essentially. Which then of course leads into Yellow, which is, you know, the sun. To me is like a metaphor for just love and me learning to love myself better, me like navigating romantic relationships, loving God. But yeah, just me wanting to reconnect with that love that I felt like I just didn't have in my life at that time, just kind of like isolating myself from just people. Green is just super fast paced. So it's kind of like a metaphor for go, just running full speed, trying to, you know, make these dreams happen. Which then leads to like a crash, which is blue. So everything slows down half time. Of course, blue is a very like cool, slow color. Indigo, which is kind of like me talking about what's the freaking line? If you wonder why I can fly in indigo, indigo is kind of like children or people who believe in themselves, believe in the future, want to push things forward, essentially. Yeah, so that's where that came from. And then Violet was like, it felt like royalty, essentially. Like my name means Prince,
which makes
Malik
sense,
means Prince.
Right.
So that whole song just kind of being about stepping into that like that role, you know. And then if you caught it, White, the last song, all the colors coming together, and then it's me speaking on like we're all on this emotional spectrum, and we're all going to be in different places at various times, but like it's okay, like find peace in that, whether you're upset right now, whether you're happy, you're like, you know, once you learn to accept where you're at, then you're able to, you know, maneuver through the rest of it and, you know, get back to a place of peace.
Dang, yeah, no, that's fire. Because when you said for Violet, I was like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I was like, that makes sense, dude.
Damn, you, man. That's tight. That's tight.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man. I had something else. You have something? I had something I can't remember though.
All right, I just wanted to ask like one general question. I was like, because like you know how Logic retired recently and all that.
Yeah.
What do you think about like kind of the toxicity in like the music industry? Do you think it's like, is there a little bit of it within like artists and other like communication between them, or is it kind of more of like just the audience creating that toxicity? Where do you think it comes from?
Man, it comes from all places, man. Like, unfortunately, it's just like everyone's just people. Everyone's just, you know. So you can't really blame it on any one thing consistently. Of course, I look at the industry and it is a lot of people in positions of power abusing it. And unfortunately, artists and creatives are the ones always who are going to end up being used because they're the dreamers, or the one who have to like, who need help and need like, man, I really need some sort of support and backing. And it's very easy to sell these people a dream because it's like, man, this is my, on top of like, artists are already like, myself included, very sensitive, you know? So that if you're not strong enough or you know yourself well enough, you can be manipulated very easily.
Right.
And then that on top of, let's say you're famous, then you have the opinions of thousands, millions of people. Yeah, there's just a lot of room for corruption and negative influences. But yeah, like you really, really have to know yourself to make it through. So when I look at Logic, it felt like, because for me, like I'm his first two albums and Bobby Tarantino one, dude, I was like, damn, this dude is crazy.
Dude.
Like, bro, he's so dope. And then to see where things turned after everybody. Because I remember everybody came out, and I was like, not for me.
Yeah.
There's a couple things on there, but like, but then it seemed like he got that first like taste of negative, like on like a wide scale of like negative feedback, and just wasn't in a place to handle it healthily. So you saw the just like the next couple projects, but even him kind of go into this really, really dark place.
Yeah.
And a lot of his writing and the things he talked about felt very like an overreaction to things of like, oh, you feel like this? Well, guess what? I'm gonna do this. And it's like, yo, you're still really, really broken, you know? And I think I wish he just took some time to like, yo, maybe he just should have took a few years off and just didn't put out any music and like healed first. Because he's kind of just adding fuel to the fire essentially when you're lashing out or like acting out of character because people are attacking you and you just, you know, try to double down. It's kind of like, you know, the stereotypical story, you try to holler at a girl and she says no, and the dude's like, why didn't want you anyway? It's like, but you did though. Like the people that you wanted love and respect from didn't give you that. And now you're kind of like well, I don't want it anyway. And it's like, I don't know if I believe you, unfortunately. But I think that's a great. I'm so happy to see where he's at now. It seems like he's finally back at a peace, a place of peace and like stability. But yeah, I mean, I watch his story. I watch people like, you know, Kanye. I watch, man, who else can I say? I mean, there's tons of artists who just go through things to the public eye. And I kind of learn what to do, what not to do. And I don't want to live out those things publicly. Like I'm not like if I'm not in a good place, I'm falling back.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think Summer Walker is a great example of that too. Because she was like, you know, this limelight just hit me right away. And now she's like, all right, let me just chill a little bit.
Back off a little bit.
But it's like, okay, because I feel like a lot of the fear is, man, if I take a step back, people are not going to care. I'm going to be irrelevant. People are not going to care about my music. I got to go. And it's like, yo, if that's your focus, you're you know, you're fighting a losing battle no matter what.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about here a lot about just like social media. It's like it could be the greatest thing out in the world, or it could be the worst. It's like how you manage it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. This is completely different, but ASAP. They were saying that Ferg's out. They're apparently gonna kick Ferg out of ASAP. But now I think Nasty tweeted out, he's like, Trap Lord is always ASAP forever.
Yeah, I peeped that.
Yeah. My question is like, do you really think that was like just some publicity shit? Or like,
shoot,
like,
man, I don't know. Honestly, these days,
like that was so weird to me.
It was so. I was like, dang, they're kicking out Ferg.
Yeah, I was like, dude, like it's Ferg, Rocky,
wow,
and then it's like everyone else in ASAP. Like, how do you remove one of the pillars?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know, but like, if it was for publicity, it doesn't surprise me, and not because anything that I felt about ASAP particularly, but like, freaking. What was it? Public Enemy had like faked the beef.
Facts.
And it was just, that was weird because I'm like, really? Public Enemy is doing this? It just didn't feel right. And this is the things you see and hear people do for attention and other stuff. I mean, obviously 6ix9ine. But
oh man,
let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. Especially after talking about King Von. Let's leave that shit alone.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's when I'm like, I hope I never get to a place where I feel like I need to do things like that. Like marketing is a thing, right? And it's not a bad thing, but you can definitely do hurtful marketing. You know, you can do things that hurt people or affect people negatively. But unfortunately, negativity is what goes like.
Yeah, nowadays,
like,
dude.
Wildfire.
It's all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Honestly, people need to just be more creative. Like, to me, like, that's easy. Like, I can just pretend I killed someone on camera and get attention. But like, to me, that's just like, yo, you just ran out of ideas, huh? Like,
it's like you really needed to do this.
Going to extremes. Yeah, like even there was a leaked image of Kendrick just sitting somewhere, and people were like, "Oh shit, music video coming out!"
Oh yeah,
like I think it's like, but I mean, Kendrick's probably an exception. Kendrick, Cole, Drake, they're all exceptions just because, or even like Frank Ocean, Bryson Tiller for that. Like Bryson Tiller had a picture or had a tweet of his daughter. Apparently, she asked him, "Oh, can we listen to the new stuff?" Like, so it's like I think even like Hove, all the greats, you just put them in that category of like. A little thing will spark something, but
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you've truly connected with people and you're dope, people are gonna want more from you. So you don't have to do all of this. Of course, there's ways to get people's attention, but I kind of look at them as examples. Like literally, Cole drops an album and then just disappears.
Yep. Same with Beyonce. Even that Disney, she dropped that Disney Plus movie and was like,
and it's gone, yo. It's gone. I'm like, yo, that I want to get to that point where I can put an album like if I want once every 3 years, and people are just like, yo,
they're on top of it.
Like,
I mean, I think right, I think even Tyler, because Tyler the Creator, he has it where like he went on Funk Flex, had that freestyle. And then like he has those like fun, like every time you see him, he's doing like funny, quote unquote, funny stuff. Yeah. But then it's like he has his like golf weighing merch or like his Vans like shoes or all that merch going on. Yeah. And so it's like he's always there, but then he also has the music to back it up. Like he has really good music. And also we have seen him go from like Loiter Squad to like what he is today.
Yeah,
he
man.
Had that whole journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's another huge influence. He does everything, and like I'm like, yo, there's so many things I want to do, like clothing line, write movies, freaking video games. Like, yo, like to me, music is one of the many arms I want to have. Like I feel like I'm the Avatar. I gotta master all the elements, man. I can't just be on.
You gotta learn it all.
One. Yeah, absolutely, man. I think this project, like Spectrum, is a perfect mini like showing of how I'm the Avatar. I guess as far as like you look at the music, look at the artwork, you look at the VR website, the clothing, like it all fits together, but it lives in so many different places. And it's like, yo, just wait until I have all the resources to do what I have in my mind. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and I think mastering all of that is also key, right? That's like how you make it almost is like once you become comfortable with all the facets of it, then it's like, okay, that's what separates you, you know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like freaking Travis, he like obviously the music got him in, and then these freaking Jordans he's dropping, like crazy. And then that connected to the freaking like Fortnite performance. It's like, yo, he's doing so many dope things on so many different.
He's breaking records, man.
Yeah, and then that movie on Netflix too. Yes, that.
Oh yeah.
What's it called? Like, Watch Mama I Can Fly or something like that.
Yeah, the documentary, and then he's doing the soundtrack. Or he did the soundtrack to.
Yeah, the recent one, right?
Yeah.
Some.
Everything's in reverse.
Yeah, I mean, I think even for him, I saw a picture. It was like he was like when he was just starting out. He was in the studio with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah,
and like obviously he's like Kanye's prodigy, so it's like I'm sure you pick all that shit up, and now you're like, okay,
got to.
Yeah, like I think. I think, dude, that's like basically like you when you were talking about like being with Cole and shit. Like, it's like you pick all that up, pick their brains, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, this is what he was talking about. Let me put that here.
Yeah,
that's what he was talking about. Let me put that shit here. Yeah, That's
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, bro. Turn up.
Nice. I mean, if Malik, you want to plug your stuff, whatever is coming out soon.
Oh yeah, what's that new shit dropping?
Yeah.
Exclusive.
I mean, I may or may not have a project coming. I don't have a date yet. I don't have before the end of this year, I would say.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
True. We'll just put come in soon, you know.
Yeah, it's exclusive.
Absolutely. But no, it's like exciting. I'll just say that it's very exciting what I have coming for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's dude. Next time we gotta talk some basketball, but we gotta run it back. We gotta run it back. Hopefully next season.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Next season may be lit, but that's a different episode. But yeah, guys, that's it for this podcast, episode 71 with Malik. I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, I like usually you guys don't know this, but I go between speaker view and gallery view just for like the video purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was getting distracted just listening and I forgot to do it a handful of hopefully it was still solid. But yeah, man, this was a super dope episode. With that, neverlandprod.com for everything Neverland. Asherma210, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Paris.ardakari on all that shit. Obviously Malik, both of us, that's gonna be in the bio. Go check that shit out. But yeah, man, with that, we out of here. Peace.
Absolutely. Peace, man. Thank you.